Hello, this is John Richard Klein, and in this video, me and Evan Rogers will be working on some pencil reviews on January the 1st, 2013. Isn't that amazing? It sure is, sir. This is Evan Rogers.
Hello, I am the reclining Evan Rogers.
And we will be showing some bang, boom, Painsols. Do you want to test any out and discuss any, Evan? The first on the list is this recently acquired pencil called the Tool 0.5mm.
Well, what country of origin is this?
Korea. South Korea.
This is a pretty interesting pencil. It seems like the feeling of this part of the pencil is rubbery, almost like the whole thing is made out of a grip. It's very interesting. I like the design of the clip. A lot of pencils these days, you don't see a really nice clip, and they'll break off super easily, and sometimes almost immediately. Let's see how it is. Well, some pencils have a really distinct and hard click when you click things. You're interrupting the video anyway. Some pencils have when you click it, they have a really hard click, and you can click it really hard, and
It has a very harsh sound, like.
Now this one is a very light click. You barely know that you'd be clicking a lead. This interesting spiral pattern here near the eraser. You can actually see the eraser inside the pencil. Now I don't think I've ever seen a pencil like that.
Turn the top part.
Don't interrupt
me.
Turn
the top part.
Keep your
it's
mouth
an
shut.
Extendable eraser.
Very good. It is an extendable eraser. That's another unique feature that I don't see on a lot of pencils. That doesn't mean it's not there, but I'm not used to seeing these are unique pencils. This is a very cool pencil. You can see through it and everything. Okay. Well, that's right. Where should I begin, Mr. Klein?
Where you feel, sir. So inclined to do, sir.
You said inclined. That's funny. Okay.
It's blurry.
Well, it's an iPhone camera. It's an iPhone camera, and probably the amount of light's probably, not ideal.
Now, how do you define input? Because, in my opinion, this pencil has excellent input.
For me, whenever I think of a pencil as having input, I like the pencil to be a pretty thick lead consistency so that I can write with it and push down pretty good and make a dark mark without the lead breaking. I like it to have strong lead. That doesn't mean that I don't appreciate other lead types that aren't quite as strong, but generally I write pretty hard. So if this pencil feels particularly light and weightless whenever I write with it, and very fluid, it's very good, but I almost don't feel like I'm writing with it. I like the pencils to have a nice solid feel. That would be my definition of input.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a pencil coming up that has a solid feel, but before we go to that one, how I define input is a little different. How I define input is the way the pencil actually feels as the lead glides on the paper. Like not the way the pencil feels to hold it in your hand, but the way it actually feels for the lead to go against the paper. Different lead types, different pencils, and different paper and surfaces will give different kinds of input. And to me, this particular pencil provides excellent input. It feels Oh man, I mean, it just has very good sensory input to me. The way that I define input, it feels amazing. Now, Evan was speaking about a punchable solid feel. The next pencil we're going to be showing here is the Pentel Graph Gear 500. And it's 0.5 millimeter lead. And to me, its input has a very harsh feel, but very concise and solid, I guess. So we're going to be having Mr. Patrick over here, St. Patrick, you know, the Irishman, clovers, all that stuff. Try this pencil.
Interesting thing about this Graph Gear 500 is that upon first inspection, it has several very interesting features that might make you think that it is an extremely heavy and weighty pencil. One thing that might make you think that is the black color of the pencil. When something's black, sometimes you can't tell whether it's plastic or, for instance, look back at the toe for a second. You might not be able to tell by looking, but the toe has a slightly heavier feel. It's got a kind of rubber. This black
and then
here,
they all face this direction.
This is actually kind of plasticky feeling, not like cheap plastic, but you can't tell from the video that this isn't like necessarily metal part here, but it's not. That makes it seem a little weightier.
Yeah, but this part is metal.
I'm getting to that. Patience. I know you're as excited about these pencils as I am. Now, this grip here is very interesting. Now, it's actually metallic, as you can maybe or may not be able to tell with these 4 notches here. Yeah, there they are.
I don't know if this will focus at all.
It won't focus too well, but they can see it still. They can see the notches. And
but it's also got a hash kind of a...
Yes. Interesting how it extends. You would think normally with a natural pencil it'll extend like a triangle almost, but it almost looks like layers on a rocket ship.
I believe the reason why they did it this way is because it's a drafting pencil.
That would make sense. Drafting pencils are for specific uses anyway. Strangely enough, this pencil's grip, you might think that it's uncomfortable because it's not like a plastic grip, but strangely enough, it feels pretty nice to the hand. It's not too uncomfortable. Just be sure not to grip it too hard. I'm going to now try out this pencil and see what I think of it in terms of input.
Notice you connected the N to the D.
Go ahead and do a target test.
No, just don't let the metal of the pencil go against the metal of the binder. I don't want to scratch it. Okay, that's good.
I like this pencil. It's an interesting combination of features that make it look like a very heavy pencil, yet it's light and elegant, and it writes heavy. Very good combination. Very, very well designed as well. And just look at that eraser cap. It's much longer than it appears.
It's a Japanese pencil, too.
Very nice. Very well made. Would you agree, sir?
Yes. Very good. Good quality of Pentel.
Oh, yes.
Now, next on our list, Evan is going to be trying out something that is just going to be very special. Now, Evan, I advise you to write a little gently and more lightly with this. This is the Pentel P203 0.3.
Oh, no, this is a treat, folks. I don't know how many of you have ever seen a 0.3 pencil, but they're quite rare. The lead type is very rare and extremely thin. Wow, this is really something.
I bought it off eBay, and I had to order it all the way from South Korea. It was made in Japan, of course, but being a Pentel, but there was none for sale on eBay from the States.
Now this is very interesting. The interesting thing about this pencil is that it feels very plasticky and somewhat cheap. It feels that way. But looks can be deceiving, Ricky. It looks like it's not much. Maybe we'll take that eraser cap off later, but for now I'll leave it. It has this certain kind of distinctive clip. You gotta be careful with these clips because although it looks like you'd be able to just clip on anything, the truth is you probably don't want to really use that clip for anything. You probably want to leave it so it'll stay intact with the pencil. Notice the unique way it fits around the pencil here. You probably can't see the little etchings that this goes into, but it's got a nice, like a glove fit. I'm gonna test very carefully this 0.3 millimeter Pentel.
Laser to use, I'll tell you. Oh, isn't it nice? And it makes you want to write small, doesn't it?
Now, the contrast from this camera phone is not the best.
But you can see that it writes lighter.
But just look at this. If you were to write with this, you'd be very surprised at how lightly this pencil writes. It's extremely clear, and if you wanted to compare it with these other writings and how they look, see how these are clear as well. These are a little darker. This is very dark, maybe with that 0.5 here. Now this here, even though it's made darker by the video, you can tell it's much lighter than the other ones. This is a very nice pencil. Mr. Klein, can we please have your thoughts on this pencil?
Oh, this pencil. This is a very special pencil. It makes you want to write small.
It's always a good thing whenever you have a pencil that has the accuracy to be able to write such a small thing and to write concisely and clearly. It's a rare thing these days, Mr. Klein, with the mass-manufactured cheap pencils. You can't always write clearly, and I haven't seen many lead types besides this 0.3 where you can actually write so clearly and in such a unique way. What do you think of the oral effect of a squeaking lead?
Oh, it is very, very soothing.
I don't mind it much. What do you think, viewers? Do you like the sound of a squeaking lead, or is it very irritating? Mr. Klein, can you explain a little bit about the squeaking lead and what causes a lead to squeak and what might be the possible implications of such?
Well, some lead types will tend to squeak when you write, while others don't. Most Pentel lead, in my experience, does not squeak. A lot of the cheaper leads, like found on Bic pencils, tend to squeak. But I found that this Pentel pencil, the 0.3 one, had squeaky lead. I guess that all the 0.3 lead they made, at least, I'm assuming no doubt would have been Pentel lead, was squeaky. But I don't mind that because I like squeaky lead. There's a certain, as Evan said, aural effect. There's a certain effect that the squeaky lead has that is very soothing. If you want to hear my story, you want to hear my story of how I first encountered squeaky lead?
I think it would be good. Help give the viewers some insight into what causes squeaky lead and why
I think
it might
it
or
has
may
to
not be
do with
pleasing.
maybe the way the lead is made. I guess the formula used, the graphite clay mixture or polymer, whatever is used. I'm not really knowing exactly what causes the lead to be squeaky, except I guess just the way some of the lead is made. Like this pencil here, this is a Bic Clickmatic number 2 0.7 millimeter mechanical pencil made in China, and it was found on the ground while walking back from the building after taking my C programming final. got lucky and found this pencil and just sitting there on the concrete, and if you click the lead out really short, you might not really be able to tell it has squeaky lead. If you click it out a little longer, you can develop that squeaky lead. So squeaky lead will squeak easier when the lead is clicked out longer, interestingly enough. And the light's pretty good, 0.7 millimeter.
A standard lead type.
HB. And yeah, if you want to hear the story of how I first encountered squeaky lead, in the 2nd grade, which is the very grade I met Evan in, I was at recess, and on the ground, on the dirt ground at recess, I found a gray Pentel mechanical pencil, 0.7 millimeter. And when I found that mechanical pencil, I loved it so much. It was so special. I was so happy to find that gray Pentel mechanical pencil. It was just such a friendly pencil. And so I brought it in, and I was doing my 2nd grade work on it in the desk in the front right-hand corner of the room. And as I was writing with that pencil, I noticed it had squeaky lead. And it was the first time I ever encountered squeaky lead. And I loved the way it sounded when it squeaked. It was just so pleasant. It was so friendly.
Very good.
And actually, I don't have that pencil. The gray Pentel is long gone. But I do have the same kind of pencil, except in a different color. It doesn't have squeaky lead on it, but it should be in here somewhere. Finding it is a whole other story. You got quite a few pencils in here, boy. I see it.
When you have so many pencils, it can be hard to find the one you're looking for. Squeaky lead's an